Okay, so this is GPS testing with the Sony FDR-X3000 and the GoPro Hero 5 Black. Now I tested the Sony a couple weeks back and wasn't really happy with the results. It did pretty poor actually. So I was curious to see how accurate, one, maybe if that was just a weird fluke that day, and two, to find out if the GoPro Hero 5 Black is accurate, and if so, I mean, is it a little bit of lag? Is it a lot of lag? So I've got the setup here on my car. Now I know that the frames don't match up exactly as far as where the cutoff line is. The bottom part has the FDR-X3000 and the top is the GoPro Hero 5. However, things don't line up perfectly, but as far as time-wise and accuracy between the two, they are identical and they're synced up perfectly. You can see that, like, for example, right here, where as soon as I come to a complete stop, you can see that both frames, the ground is moved, or not moved, but stopped in both of them. So right off the bat, you can tell that the GoPro Hero 5 is right on. It's darn near matches the speedometer, which is being recorded by the GoPro Hero 4, and it's incredible. I mean, it kills the Sony by a huge margin. Once we get up to speed, it seems like things are okay, but it takes several seconds for the Sony to catch back up as to where the GoPro is really, really accurate. So I'm very impressed by that. Both of these cameras are running off of battery power, so it's not like I have one plugged in and one not, but it's a huge, huge difference. I mean, right there, Sony still thought I was going almost 30 miles an hour to that turn. And then right up here, I'm going to hit the brakes kind of hard, and you'll see the GPS on the GoPro follows darn near identical with what the car is actually doing. And boom, stop. And the Sony still thought we were going 20 miles an hour. So just based on this short test, we can see that the GoPro is significantly more accurate. So if you're going to actually be using these cameras and you want GPS data, I'd say the Sony is almost useless. It's so far behind on lag that it doesn't really make sense. It's kind of cool that you get the little map with the Sony, but you get that and more with the GoPro. So I'm really kind of surprised here and disappointed with the Sony camera. And I've got more video tests here following this, but we can see that the GoPro clearly has the advantage of a much faster refresh rate, so much to the point where, I mean, it really does match pretty much with the speedometer reading, which is taken directly from the wheels. So I'm really impressed here with the GoPro, but let's take a couple other looks at other videos that I've got here with more acceleration and turns, and see if there's maybe a difference where the Sony keeps up, but I doubt it based on this short initial test. Okay, so I'll let you watch the rest of the videos and kind of compile your own thoughts on this. I would say, however, that the GPS in the Sony is complete garbage. And it might not necessarily be the GPS in there, but it's the refresh rate is so bad and so long. I mean, it seems like it's maybe once a second or, at most. I'm probably just going to consider turning the GPS on my Sony off, because it's not even like collecting this data is useful later down the line. I guess the only advantage to keeping it on would be I get kind of a little chart and a total distance traveled, but I was really hoping to be using this for racing and track days, canyon stuff, and that way you can really see how fast you're going. But the Sony is so inaccurate that it doesn't even really make sense. So clearly, if you want GPS data overlays and you don't want to use separate third-party things to have to sync on top of your video, you're just relying on the camera itself, the GoPro Hero 5 is absolutely the way to go with GPS, with their overlays and accuracy. So take a look at the other videos and let me know if there's any other testing you want me to do.